Imagine having to apologize for something as stupid as this because people are so freaking sensitive and fragile and just mentally impaired that something like this triggers them. So Splitgate 2 CEO apologizes for wearing "Make FPS Great Again" hat. I'm assuming first-person shooters. Of course, frames per second. I mean, here we are, 2025. Last year, 2024, some games were 30 frames per second. So maybe he wants to make frames per second great again. But imagine being such a fucking tender, sensitive, fragile snowflake that a dude wearing a hat that says "Make FPS Great Again" triggers you. So Splitgate 2 CEO Ian Prolu issued a apology after he wore a hat stating "Make FPS Great Again" to the Summer Game Fest. At Summer Game Fest, he who is the co-founder and CEO of 1047 Games, the developer of Splitgate 2, wore a hat that reads "Make FPS Great Again" while he introduced the game's world premiere trailer. In a post to the Splitgate social media account on Twitter, he issued an apology. Never apologize. Mistake number 1. You apologized. Now they see weakness. Now they will go after you for every little thing. You don't apologize to these people. Ever. He said, "So I've got a lot of questions about what's up with the hat. Why'd you wear it? What was the intent?" The intent was for people to know that we want to make first-person shooters great again. And I want to start by explaining myself. It is really freaking hard as an independent studio to break through the noise. You go through these award shows. We got it at the TGAs. We had this great trailer, and there was 50 other great trailers, and didn't really have any impact. So at our biggest stage coming out of beta, we needed something to grab attention. The honest truth is we tried to think of something, and this is what we came up with. We did not intend on this to be taken in any political way whatsoever. Well, the people who make politics about everything, yeah. Because again, make first-person shooters great again. Oh my god. That's very similar to Donald Trump. This guy must support Donald Trump. He must be a far right. No. It's make first-person shooters great again. Palm your fucking tits. Seriously. And I'm not an idiot. Obviously, I knew there would be some level of controversy, but we really saw this as a meme that was kind of stating out our truth, which is we do want to improve this genre. And I don't see why not. As of late, the first-person shooter scene has been a little lackluster, to say the least. You have all these first-person shooter games coming out and not really standing out of the crowd. They're all just kind of generic and not really offering anything new to the putting anything new to the table. It's just the same generic bullshit. So someone wanting to make FPS great again seems like a pretty good slogan to me. But no, oh no, because that's too similar to Orange Man Bad, and anything that is associated with him, our fake fucking vaginas start to hurt. We are disappointed with the state of the genre, so we took it as a meme that would not be nearly as received as it was, negatively received the way it was. So I want to apologize, and genuinely, you don't have to believe me, but the truth is that I'm sorry. Don't fucking apologize to these people. You're apologizing to a minority. You're apologizing to the few chronically online weirdos who have nothing better to do than to sit around being angry about everything. Like, oh my god, Orange Man Bad, you're a phobicism, you're a far-right extremist Nazi. Blah, blah. Never apologize to these people. Never apologize. Because these fucking people are never happy. You apologize to them, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Now you've shown how weak you are. Now they're going to start demanding things. Now they're going to continue doing their bull crap. That is why you don't apologize to them. They were ones who were never going to fucking buy your game in the first place, but here you are caving into them. They weren't going to buy your game to begin with. These are the people who are sitting online, look, ma, I did an activism. That's all they are. They were never going to buy your game. They probably don't even fucking play first-person shooter games. But no, you had to apologize to them. And the reason I'm sorry is because that this has done to, is what this has done to the community. The most important thing to me is that I want to have an amazing community. That is the reason I built 1047. That's the reason I love my job, because I wake up every day. Every day I have friends in the community. Mikavelli, Tovar. It's going to Tovar. All these great people who I can play games with, who I can get their feedback. I talk to them. There are also great people who got us through the dark times. I hate seeing division, and that's what I'm seeing right now on both sides. There's division in the community, and for that I'm truly sorry. Again, I reiterate, I do not stand by the intent of this, which is, the intent truly is, take it at face value. We do truly want to improve the genre. We do feel the genre is in a bad state. I think most people who are normal would agree. And we want to make first-person shooter games as amazing as possible. But I also understand it's not just about intent, it's about impact. And the platform that we've had has had a negative impact. And for that, I'm truly sorry. I wish things were different, and I appreciate all the feedback. The game hit an all-time peak of 25,000 concurrent players on Steam in its first Saturday after releasing on June 6th, and right now it is currently the 10th, so a couple days ago. The player counts have stayed steady, which, okay, well, I mean, as long as it's kind of steady. Steady, eddy. However, the company shared that its player base has more than tripled since beta. Specifically, we've had a ton of recent success on console. Never apologize. This weakling doesn't deserve the support of gamers if he's going to be a coward. The woke always hunt for something, anything, over which to be offended. Being a victim gives them power. Sure as heck is about the only way they can get any power. Never ever apologize. Yeah. Again, you give them an inch, they take a mile. So, this is a sentiment I think we all agree with about making first-person shooters great again. Hell, I mean, it's just a phrase, and the fact that these people are so fucking triggered by, like, I made a World of Warcraft video where I made my character, his name is Tonal Drump, and the title of it was Tonal Drump returns to make Azeroth great again. #MAGA. Because make Azeroth great again. So it's like #MAGA. It's just a fucking phrase. You know, and right now, because of how it's been used, you know, you can really put it with anything. Like I said, make Azeroth great again. Make first-person shooters great again. Make asylums great again. #MAGA. But these people are throwing, again, the same people who aren't even going to play the game are throwing a hissy fit because this dude is wearing a fucking hat that says, make first-person shooters great again. How fucking pathetic do you need to be to get mad over a hat? And he did the #1 thing you should never do. He apologized. You never, ever, no matter what people tell you, people will say, oh, just say something. No. No, you never apologize. You never give in to these people because they are a minority. Instead of pandering to the minority, you need to make sure that the majority are the ones happy. If these people don't play the game, oh no, they weren't going to play the game anyway. But all you're going to do is you're going to apologize to these people who are just offended over everything, and then you're going to piss off the majority because it's like, okay, dude, we can see how fucking weak you are. You're caving in and you're giving in to these people by apologizing. We've lost all fucking respect for you. So I can see why people on both sides were very unhappy. But again, I think it's a sentiment that we all agree with. Make first person shooters great again. Think about the last couple of years about first person shooters that have come out. How far Call of Duty has fallen. Does anyone not believe in that phrase of making first person shooters great? Or again, maybe he's talking about frames per second. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's tired of seeing games going down to like 20, 30 frames like it's fucking Nintendo 64 era. Good old Ocarina of Time going at 20 frames per second. I don't know. Maybe he wants to make frames per second great again. No, but he says first person shooters because it's a genre of games. And again, it would be the same if someone said make RPGs great again, or make action adventure great again, or it's just a phrase, and the fact that people lose their shit over a phrase. But it's modern day, and it's the people who are chronically online, the ones who are always looking for something to be offended about, because if they don't, they feel like they're not validated and that they're not human beings, because that's the only way they feel validated is by voicing their opinions and getting people to being held accountable. And their entire personality is their fucking sexuality and how they identify and their skin color and this and that, politics. And look, ma, I did an activism. But I hope this guy in the future learns not to apologize. um Whatever other games come out in the future, I hope he just sticks to his guns. First person mode. um Sticks to his guns and just says, you know what, fuck off. Fuck off, I'm not apologizing. But modern day, what do you expect? Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.